Welcome to Hospice Explained. This podcast is intended as an educational aid and is only a resource to begin to understand the end-of-life season. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please always seek advice from your physician or qualified members of your healthcare team with any questions regarding a medical condition.
Hello and welcome to Hospice Explained. This is episode number 163. I'm your host, Marie Betcher RN. I'm a former hospice nurse. I started this podcast to help patients and families understand hospice, decrease fear, and increase education. On this episode, I am welcoming back Jean Anne Menna. Jean Anne was on episode number 111. Jean Anne is a certified hospice and palliative nurse based in New York and a board member for End of Life Choices New York. She is the author of Go with Grace and A PAWsitive Journey. Go with Grace offers insight into hospice care through the lens of the interdisciplinary team, highlighting the compassion and collaboration that guide patients and families through the end-of-life journey. And Jean Anne has a recent book called A PAWsitive Journey, and PAWsitive is spelled PAWsitive, which helps children understand hospice care with empathy and hope. Jean Anne is a mother of 3 grown sons and believes that end-of-life care should honor the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of every person. Jean Anne, welcome back to Hospice Explained. Jean Anne was on episode number 111. And even because of Jean Anne and her little cat and her story, Houdini, which I do recommend you going back to listen, I did episode number 123, which is Pet Peace of Mind, which works with hospice companies to help rehome pets of patients that have passed.
Mm-hmm.
So Jean Anne comes back to us today with a book. Jean Anne wrote a book, and it's called A PAWsitive, P-A-W, PAWsitive Journey. Duke and Houdini Learn about Hospice Care. Jean Anne, I know in our first episode, we kind of talked about Houdini and the story behind Houdini. Why don't you tell us your motivation for this book?
So first of all, my motivation was, the story about Houdini. So I knew that he had to be in this book that I was writing. This children's book has been in my brain for a very long time. I feel like children, if there's a patient that's on the younger side and there's young children in the home, they don't understand what we are there for and what we are doing.
Nope.
So I wanted to introduce it in a positive light, and I knew that I had to include Houdini in it. And Duke was my pet a long time ago, and he was just near and dear to my heart too. So
I think it sounds perfect.
yeah. So that's really what the motivation was. It was getting the word out there to children, getting them to hear the word hospice in a more positive way, and to include the 2 of my favorite pets.
No, I think it's perfect. So it's a beautiful book. I will put the cover on the episode cover. So when you see the link in the podcast, you'll see the cover of this book. And I know it's on Amazon. I'm assuming it's on all the places you can buy books.
Yes. I'm working on getting it on Barnes and Noble. So it's like recently new. So I'm getting it out there.
I don't know a lot about getting out books. Is this something you're having to do a little bit on your own, or do you have
Yes.
somebody that promotes it?
I've been doing it on my own. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get it. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jean Anne, are you still working in hospice?
I am. I'm still working in hospice full time. So this is writing this book, and my other book that I have, the Go with Grace, are just things that I work on in my free time because I'm very passionate about hospice care and getting the word out there and educating the community.
It's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your committee you're on.
So I am a board member of the End of Life Choices in New York, And we also were working to get the word out of choices for people at the end of their life, the choices that they may have. New York just passed the medical aid in dying, and we're waiting for our governor to sign the bill so we can put it into the works in New York. So we're hopeful that she signs it by the end of the year.
Okay.
So that's been piece of the puzzle of the end of life choices, and we do go out there and we talk to the community. We have, certain fundraisers and just wherever we can educate, people.
Well, and that's just meeting the people where they're at, meeting
Mhm.
each and every one, just like you've done for the book. For kids, you're trying to meet them at their level. No knowledge of hospice. Many kids don't even know what death is. I mean, how old were
Right.
you when you really had that first person and that you knew die in your life? I mean, can you think back to
Mhm.
that?
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
scary, and I kind of wanted it to be a positive, even though it's
Mhm.
sad and it's scary for them. I wanted it to be positive. I wanted them to see that even though somebody passes, that they could still go on and live a happy life,
Right.
and that person will always be in your heart and in your mind and in your memories. So,
Right.
I know that younger children, probably like 3, 4, they don't understand it. They think that person maybe went on a long trip and they're gonna come back, So this book kinda shows them that the person isn't going to come back, but that the pets that were Grandma Mary's were gonna go live at a new home and have new memories and new experiences and be loved just the same.
Nice.
Mhm.
Well, kids don't have that framework necessarily. They may not have seen a lot of life changes
Right.
in the times that they've had provided. I remember my grandmother lived with my parents. She had a separate apartment, and then we're talking the 70s, and then my dad had built a buzzer so she could push a buzzer if she needed help, or she would dial the phone. Of course, back then you had to have a corded phone near you. And I'll never forget, I think I
Mhm.
was 9. I was 9, and, my parents would use these words, and nowadays you look back and I knew she was declining by what they said now as an adult, but back then I didn't get it. And she went into the hospital, and I think she had been there for a week. And, I came home from school one day and they said she died. And then it was sad because, back then they didn't even let kids, I don't know if everybody even knows this, not all kids could even go in the hospital. You could not visit. They didn't allow children to visit, so didn't get to say goodbye
Mhm.
to her.
Yes.
I don't feel like that's that piece that really upsets me, because that was what society was back then, but it's still,
Mhm.
you look back and you think about it and you want better for, your kids and grandkids to be able to have those experiences and
Right.
share some stories like, that I was able to provide my kids with my parents and my in-laws, give the kids, "Hey, this is what's happening and this is what's next." And your book is just great for
Mhm.
it talks about the different members of the hospice team. It talks about the pets and that they do need a new home because they're not going to have a home
Mhm.
because Grandma Mary is going to die. So I think it's a great book, and I think it's
Right.
a really, really gentle introduction for hospice. So
Oh, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
I do as well. And I have to just say that the person that I worked with on this that did the illustrations, her name is Lori Raccanelli. We work not she's not in the same company, but she works for an agency that provides our home health aides for our hospice company. And I found out that she was an artist and asked her to work with me on this. And, she did a beautiful job with illustrating this. So I just wanted to mention her and, how it's exactly the way that I envisioned. I told her what I wanted and she did exactly what I thought the book would look like in my mind.
Absolutely, I concur. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
But I agree, Jean Anne, illustrations are beautiful. It really is a beautiful book. It's appealing. It has a good blue cover with some contrasting yellow and pink and white. And
Oh, that is the lady that does my formatting. Her name is Susanna. She is wonderful. She's actually from North Carolina. I've never met her in person. Her and I got hooked up, and we do a lot of Zoom calls,
okay,
and we could talk for hours, her and I.
fun.
Elephantbook.com. She does the cover design and the formatting for me.
Okay.
And when I first met her to do the Go with Grace book, she said to me, I love first time authors because, I like to help. And she did exactly that. She helped me from start to finish because I had no clue, like, never did that before. Didn't know. I knew I wrote this book, but how do I actually put it all together? You know, to make it actually look like a book and not just something written on paper?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have no
Yeah,
bearing on how to do a book, so that's awesome.
right. And she taught me, I mean, she put it together, but she taught me exactly what she was doing. And, we would meet, and, it takes time to do these things in exactly the way you want it. And so she was wonderful too. So I worked with two wonderful women that helped me put this book together.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm very, very proud of this and the other book, and there'll be more.
I was just kind of thinking that in the back of my head. There's got to be more. Remind my audience about your book, Go with Grace.
So, Go with Grace is a simple guide for caring for your loved one at home on hospice. It can also be a good resource just to give you a little background about hospice, even before you decide if your loved one's going home or staying in a nursing home or assisted living, where also hospice can be provided. So it gives you a little background about how to care for somebody, the comfort medications that are placed in the home from us, little background on what to look for when the person is actually transitioning into the dying process. And then once you do start the comfort medications, there's also places where you can log everything. Because I felt that a little book with a little bit of information, not too overwhelming, was important for somebody that was caring for someone at that stage. And also a place where they can feel everything is logged and organized.
Perfect. No, that's perfect. That is just basics, and everybody needs a place to start and a place to understand.
Mm-hmm.
You can only get so
Right.
much education from your time with the nurses.
Yeah, and then sometimes you just need a little bit of reiterating. So you can go to the book and you can look at different things in there, different education surrounding hospice. And it's not so overwhelming.
Exactly.
Like, it's not too much information where you're like sitting there for hours trying to read a book. It's a very simple, it's probably under an hour you can read through the whole thing.
And that I think is really, really important for hospice
Mm-hmm.
because we can only learn so much when we're super stressed and super, what do they call it? Anticipatory
Mm-hmm.
grief. When you start getting ready to grieve, start thinking about
Yep.
grieving, and you can only allow yourself so much variation from one side to the next.
Yes.
And learning something new is not always easy when we're challenged emotionally.
Yep, that's exactly right. No, that's definitely what I think too. And I want to make it so that the person feels supported and it's not overwhelming, and I want them to feel not so stressed. I mean, I can't take it all away, but I'm going to try to do my best.
Right. Now, you see patients still as a hospice nurse. Are you doing a full caseload?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot. And you do your own admissions?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's a lot. Now, in your state, do you have to do a death visit, or is that something where you don't have to go out and pronounce a death? Do you have to do that?
Yes, we pronounce our death.
Okay.
Hmm.
That can be a little bit extra sometimes for a case manager.
Yeah, it can be. Hmm.
Is there any final thoughts both books. I will put links to both books in my show notes. Is there any final thoughts that you just want to encourage my listeners about?
So I think that it's important to not make it so scary. I know that there's only so much we want to tell children because we don't want to scare them. This I think is a good introduction to knowing that this is like a part of life. These things happen and maybe it's not going to be their mom or dad that is the one that's passing it. It's going to be maybe their grandma or grandpa, you know. This is just part of life. And also, if it is where somebody is on hospice, if the hospice team comes in, the children have heard that word. Oh, okay, hospice, they're here to help. And that's what it's about. It's about us going into the home and helping people.
It is, isn't it? It's
Hmm.
exactly what it's about. It's about helping. And yes, we just want to give those kids comfort, not fear.
Yeah, exactly.
We just don't want to be something that increases their fear. We want to decrease fear and increase that comfort level.
Right.
So they're not afraid to reach out to providers as they grow up.
Hmm. Exactly. And then they should really listen to the other episode when we talked about Houdini because he was a special cat.
Yes. Oh, yes. I think of Houdini often. Something comes to my mind, and I just think about poor little Houdini, where his owner
I
died
know.
and he just needed to be fed. And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So it's very important that when somebody does pass, that we make sure that these pets have a home to go to and they're not left behind. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I promote also Pet Peace of Mind, and they work with hospices. Do you work with Pet Peace of Mind, Jean Anne?
No, I have not.
I'm going to introduce you to
Okay.
them, and they help rehome pets, and they have volunteers and they train volunteers to help. Sometimes it's taking a pet to their hair appointment. Sometimes it's taking a pet to a vet, or, just sometimes it's just regular taking them out for a walk. But as dying patients, they need help with their pets. So that's what they train volunteers to work with and work on rehoming these pets.
Oh, I love that. That's wonderful. Yes, I would like to connect with somebody there.
All right,
Okay.
I will send you guys an email. So
So perfect.
this has been fabulous. I am so happy to reconnect with you.
Same here.
Thank you so much for coming back on Hospice Explained. And next book, please send me an email. We'll bring you back on.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me on Hospice Explained. Think about ways you can make a difference in someone's life. Also, please subscribe and share this podcast with anyone who would benefit from listening. Thank you.